Hello guys, it's me, Jacob, React 2135. We're back, and today, just want to say, um, let's do a story, um, of Dwayne Forge from GTA 4. Let's get started. So, Dwayne Forge is a character in the Grand Theft Auto series, who appears as a main character and an optional friend in Grand Theft Auto 4. Dwayne is a former drug kingpin who ruled over North Holland. So his full name is Dwayne Forge. He is a he's a American. He's American. He's determined. He's a determinant. He was born until 1973, that makes about 40 years older than me. Or 30. I'm not sure. Well, I'm gonna say 40. His place of birth is North Holland, Liberty City. And also, uh, his date of death is until 2008. Age 35. Player's choice. That's Nico's choice. His home is apartment. Governor Greg Johnson projects. Northwood and Liberty City. His family. So Mr. Forge just died. His father. Mrs. Forge, his mother. I'm not sure. As a Therese Glover, his ex-girlfriend. His friends are um, Playboy X, formerly Nico Bellic, and Dieter Meetent, and Javon Simpson, formerly, and he's deceased. His vehicles are he has one. He has a red NRG 900. His businesses is the Triangle Club and drug dealing. Gender male. So it appears on GTA 4. The actor was Devin Richards. Let's do his biography about his childhood. So Dwayne was born in 1973 in North Holland, at Liberty City. He grew up. He grew up in the Westminster Towers, a notoriously violent and drug infested housing project in North Holland. His father was an I don't know, I can't pronounce that name. Violent pimp and drug dealer. Who regularly beat both Dwayne and his mother. He would tell Dwayne in a harsh voice, expect the worst than you can, only presently surprise. Before beating him, accounting for his uh, melancholic, melancholic, yeah. I know. I just look up, as you guys know. I woke up until 7:28, as you know. Um, outlook on life. His mother was his primary caregiver, who he uh, thought highly of, saying she tried so hard to please his father, who often beat her. On one okay, I can't pronounce it. Association, so a co. Fuck, I can't. She bought him some golf clubs because a friend of his dad, no, that's sad, of his had some, and it seemed sophisticated, but he instead broke the clubs over her back. His father was killed on his doorstep. He tried to rip off the other drug dealers in the neighborhood. Dwayne says that he felt nothing when his father was murdered, even saying he he was glad. So that's sorry, I know. Dwayne aspired to be a police officer as a child, but says he could not read well enough, and the that the LCPD looked down upon black police officers in the 1980s. At one point, he was homeless, unable to get a job, without full education. From there, Dwayne reflected on his only marketable skills, stating, "I could add up, and I could scare people, so I started selling dope." Yeah. And now, so here's the drug empire and prison sentence. So, between 1988 and 1999, Dwayne ran a crack cocaine empire. Dwayne claimed that he made $50,000 per week and had apartments full of money. Entire apartments stuffed with bank notes. Because of his connections, Dwayne had more pure product than anybody in Algonquin at that time he was living the dream as a teenager, riding high as a drug lord. However, with his new success also came problems. A lot of people were jealous of Dwayne because of his fast money and street fame. This caused Dwayne to constantly seem very distant and to only remain close to a few people. Two of those people closest to him were his girlfriend, Therese Glover, who he describes as the love of my fucking life, and Trey Stewart, also known as Playboy X, his child prodigy, I don't know. Despite his immense wealth, Dwayne states that he was miserable, feeling paranoid and angry, possibly due to the jealousy of others. Dwayne stated that he wanted to start a family and have children, but he believed his drug dealing past and stint in prison had prevented it. Prevented it. Dwayne also invested in the adult entertainment sector and bought the Triangle Club in Bohan and a couple of pornography shops in Liberty City and Alderney City. In the late 1990s, following a tip from informant Javon Simpson, who would also steal his girlfriend in the next few years. Dwayne was arrested and sent to prison. Dwayne ran the gang from prison at first, also providing for his girlfriend Therese, giving her cars, houses, apartments, bank accounts, and everything. Wells inside. He states that during his prison time, he went through a lot of therapy. He was placed on suicide watch for much of his prison sentence, continuing to express some suicidal thoughts when released upon reflection. Dwayne harbors mixed feelings about his former drug empire. He states that it was sort of fun, and sort of like living in hell, seeing your old school mates turn into zombies, and knowing they was going to be your best customers. He says that he knew what he was doing was wrong, but felt like he didn't have a choice due to his lack due to his lack of money and education. Playboy X assumed leadership of the empire around this time. As many gangs matured from solely crack sales to wider drug sales. Other organized crime and even ligament venues such as the music and real estate industries. Playboy last visited Dwayne in prison in 2004, no longer having any interest in, running with him. During this time, the Triangle Club was taken over by the Trenches brothers. Dwayne states that when he was arrested, the authorities offered him all sorts of deals in exchange for him providing information on other dealers, but he refused to give it to them, saying that when he dies, he can meet his maker, knowing that he never ratted anybody out. Events of GTA 4. Released from prison. In 2008, Dwayne is released from prison and immediately goes to see Playboy at his penthouse. He talks to Playboy X and Nico Bellic. And the mission, the construction of beginners, where Playboy patronizes him. Playboy X eventually pays Nico to appease Dwayne by working with him, but Nico genuinely connects with Dwayne as they both experienced hardship and have developed a cynical outlook on life and distaste for others. Rebuilding life. With Nico's help, Dwayne gradually begins to rebuild his life. He asks Nico to kill Javon Simpson, the man who stole Dwayne's money and his girlfriend. Nico finds him and Therese, and chooses whether or or not to kill Therese before chasing and murdering Javon. Nico meets up with Dwayne at Cluckenbell and gives him the money back. Later, Dwayne tells Nico about his former gentleman's club, the Triangle Club, which was taken over by the Trenches brothers. Nico goes to the club and kills the Trenches brothers, allowing Dwayne to reclaim control of the club. This angers Playboy X due to the Trenches brothers being business associates of his. However, Dwayne also begins to talk trash about Playboy. In Dwayne's question, I don't know, of the triangle club conflicts further with Playboy's business interests. Dwayne knew the effect that this would have Playboy doing it anyway, out of passive aggressive angst for turning his back on him. According to Playboy, he offered Dwayne half of his old game back, and he did not accept the offer, likely insulted as he founded the gang and taught Playboy the business, and he was merely a child. The hole in play. Let me get so far. Alright, so more to go. The hole in play. Nico is subsequently hired by both men to assassinate one another. In the mission, the hole in play, Nico must choose whether to kill Dwayne or Playboy X. If Nico chooses to kill Dwayne, Nico will respectfully tells Dwayne that it's nothing personal. Forge accepts his fate and sorrow, and turning his back to Nico and calling him fake, just like the rest of them. Nico then shoots Dwayne in the back of the head, while turned away, killing him with visible regret. Playboy pays Nico, but in apparent denial, calls him cold for assassinating his old mentor, and the pair never speak again. If Nico chooses to kill Playboy, Nico will arrive at Playboy X's penthouse to kill him. When Nico is telling Playboy that he didn't change the game, he executes Playboy by shooting him in the neck, saying that the game changed him. Dwayne takes over the North Holland Hustlers once again and gives Playboy's penthouse to Nico, revealing that he had the deed to it all along. When told that he should take it by Nico, mentions that living in it would remind him too much of Playboy, who he states he should have kept a closer eye on. He will also become a friend, and of his friendships like percentage is raised high enough, he will send two gangsters as bodyguards whenever Nico needs backup. If Nico and Dwayne get drunk during a friendship activity, Dwayne may confess that he killed Playboy because was too jealous of his success. Appearance: Dwayne is bald and has a beard. He wears a greenish black coat with jeans and boots, and it is of a large build. Here's it, guys. Personality. During their friendship activities, Dwayne tells Nico about his life, and at first presents very negative outlooks and conversation. However, after enough activities with Nico, Dwayne begins to act more positively. And after Nico himself tells him to stop complaining and try to enjoy life, Dwayne finally begins to share some positive outlooks and hopes with Nico. Despite, despite, despite being a drug dealer, Dwayne often shows signs of extreme kindness and altruism, altruism, especially to those closest to him. While in cards created, he pulled favors to make sure that his girlfriend on the outside was looked after and taken care of, even going as far to the beach. Her with cars and apartments and bank accounts. Dwayne took in Playboy X and served as a father figure to him, teaching him how to sell drugs and helping him build a criminal empire. If Nico chooses to kill Playboy X, Dwayne shows a genuine sadness over his death, lamenting that he was a good kid back in the day. Dwayne appears to like hip hop music as his favorite radio station or the Beat 102.7 the Classics. The Classics 104.1 point. He may also like the Vibe 98.8 as it plays inside his apartment. Friendship. If Dwayne is spared in the Holland play, he will send Nico an email if Nico responds. He and Dwayne will become friends. Dwayne is available between 12 o'clock p.m. and 1 o'clock a.m. The possible activities and Dwayne are drinking, eating, bowling, or going to a strip club. He likes classy places like the Superstar Cafe. However, still loves Cluck and Bell. His night spot preference his Club Liberty in Northwood Algonquin. Dwayne does not like it if Nico drives too fast. He highly dislikes helicopters. So it is advised to not to pick him up with one. However, he likes the NRG 900 very much. Dwayne's friendship activities do not count towards 100% completion. getting Dwayne like percentage over or equal 90% counts towards the Liberty City 5 achievement trophy if he is spared during the Holland play. Friendship benefit of Dwayne when Dwayne's like percentage is high enough. He was sent two goons back to back Nico up when requested. One of them carries a pistol, while the other carries a Microsoft SMG. They will stay close to Nico and fire on every hostile enemy. They will stay with Nico for around 10 to 15 minutes until he says that he wants to be alone again. If Nico does not drop them off, and in about a minute, they will bail out of the vehicle if Nico leaves them behind. They will disappear. They get too far away. Let's see how this is the record of LCPD database record. So his surname is Forge, and also his first name is Dwayne. He is 35. He's 35. 35. Yeah, 35. Place of birth, North Holland, Liberty City. His occupation is linked to African American criminals and drug dealers in North Holland. Criminal record. Criminal record. In 1989, burglary. Illegal entry with criminal intent. 1991, possession controlled substance. Crack cocaine. 1994, evasion. 1999, possession of controlled substance, crack cocaine, with intent to sell. The notes are crack cocaine baron in the mid 90s. and also controlled large patches of territory in East Holland, North Holland, and Northwood. Business operations now being run by Trey Stewart. Street name Playboy X. Placed on suicide watch for much of his time in federal penitentiary. Mission appearances: GTA 4, the it's the lawnmower, the lawnmower, deconstruction for beginners, rough raider, boss, undressed to kill, boss, the Holland play. He can be killed. He can be killed. Therese Glover's random encounter post mission phone call. Only if he was spared in the Holland play. Glitch. In some instances, after killing Playboy X and Playboy, Dwayne will give Nico his safe house, and Nico will keep him as a contact. But Dwayne will become unavailable as a friend, and calling him will instead direct to his voicemail. This seems to be caused by having a full email inbox, thus preventing Dwayne from emailing Nico. The glitch is caused by finishing the Therese side mission. Dwayne, and before Dwayne calls Nico to hang out for the first time. If this is done, Dwayne calls and asks about Nico and Therese. And after that, he won't call again. And any calls to Dwayne go straight to voicemails. Here's the last one, guys. Trivia. If the player looks up Dwayne Forge's file and profile on the police database and police car computer before the deconstruction for beginners, his file lists him as in custody. If the player kills Dwayne, this will change to deceased accordingly. If the player looks up Dwayne's file in the Lost and Damned or the Ballad of Gay Tony, it will list him as in custody for the entire storyline of both games. Dwayne has a dispute with one of his neighbors, Jimmy Cand, who lives a few doors down from his apartment. The reasons for this dispute is never revealed. Right. Dwayne has 3 different voicemails throughout the game. The most of for any character. Accidentally said it wrong. His email address is bigdwayne94 at gmail at ifind.info. He will only send one email in the entire game. Ostensibly, after the Holland play, asking Nico to be his friend. Dwayne states that he can barely read. The only evidence in it is his email, although it is not near perfect like all the perfect like all the other characters. He appears to be literate, albeit using internet slang such as 242. His and Playboy's relationship is similar to Macaulay Faustin and Dmitry Raskolov. Both have known each other. So as it goes off until an hour. It cannot record any longer. I have to make 2 parts, and also Mosin will split up. Yeah. Each other for a long time, and one of them will eventually betray the other, and the other Playboy betrays Dwayne in the Holland play, and Dimitri betrays Macaulay in the Master and the Molotov. And the LC Cage fighters ring a voicemail almost identical to Dwayne's can be heard cheering on when the player chooses to spectate during friendship activities. Dwayne can usually can be picked up near different drugstores and and in Northwood in one sometime. No. In one of the conversations with Nico, he also says that he is desperate and depressed, and probably should take some medicine. Sometime after becoming Dwayne's friend, if the player spares Dwayne, he will randomly call Nico as he heard his phone ring while in the shower and thought that the missed call was from Nico himself. Naturally, Nico will tell Dwayne that somebody else must have called him. His missions can be played after completing the game, as they are not required to continue the storyline. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. So like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you guys in the next video. I know it's a long video. So bye everyone. I'll make 2 parts. Bye.